Basically, my title is Pathway Development Manager. There's a number of roles on it. First of all, look after the young contractor pros that were given contracts roughly about 18 months ago who are on the periphery of the first team squad, and they mainly play 20s. Currently coaching the under 17 squads as well with Donald O'Brien. And I'm also looking after the loan players, so like Zatahi, Stephen Porter, Liam Moan. When they're out on loan, I kind of go and watch them, report, keep in contact with them and see how they're getting on. So that's the main part of my job.
So whenever you're liaising with these types of players, what kind of feedback are you getting about their experience and being out on loan?
You're watching the game. How do you think you're done today? Good, bad? Is everything else going on? Are you happy enough where you are? Just basically touching base and giving them about a 1-to-1 and making them feel like they're still a part of the club even though they're not here. Based on staffing and stuff like that at clubs, when the player does leave to go on loan, sometimes it's hard to keep track in bits and pieces, but obviously, Rory found it important to put someone in this role.
Now that you're in that role, you're in conversation with these players, do they actually feel that the experience that they're getting outside of the club is beneficial to help them get into the first team?
But any of them that's gone on loan have always really sort of valued the fact I'm out here and playing senior men's football. I'm training, basically gearing towards our game at the weekend, which is playing for 3 points and that. And they've all found it really positive experiences, whether it's based on coming back and staying here or moving on elsewhere. Like we've got lads now here playing first team football elsewhere, so for me, that is success because it is hard to get into the first team here, but at least you're gaining experience. And all our managers are saying, well, he went there, or he went here and done well, so I'll take him on and go from there. So you're giving lads a chance to build first team experience and start to get their career started.
You also dip into the academy teams. The under 20s has now become a new league that has developed. It was the under 19s, and now there's a big gap in terms of ages. Are you starting to see younger players stepping into that older categories having a knock-on effect on their development?
I think if you look at the current structure, it's under 14, under 15, under 17, under 20. Before it was under 14, 14, 17, 19. Now, there has always been a struggle between 15 and 17 because there's a 2-year gap. And when it comes to the under 15s, you're trying to basically put 2 squads onto one. Very difficult. You're going to have to basically release players and that, which makes it very hard because sometimes you have to release good players. You just haven't got enough room for them. But the way we've done it now, that's still the issue, 15s to 17s. But I think next year there's a possibility it might go 14, 15, 16, 18. Process a wee bit easier. In relation to the 20s, yep, that has pushed up a year. Around that age group, you'll see young lads all around the country, 16, 17, around the first team anyway, so I don't see that as a major issue. And within our club, what we done halfway through last season was a few of the under 17s moved up to 19s anyway. So that for me is progression. If a young player is good enough to move up, then you move them up and fast track their development. I think it's a positive.
Because the under 20 setup, the lads within that age group are no longer playing Ulster Senior League football. Are they missing that experience?
I think Ulster Senior League that benefit. Definitely Derry City in the past, but I don't think there was as many academy teams at that point in time, but it definitely benefit from a physicality point of view, as you say, learning off experienced players who have played at a good level. It's no longer there, so there's not really much we can do about that. But I think the problem with that one was that there's probably maybe too many fixtures and it was the same players playing both leagues at that current moment in time, which was basically workloads and stuff like that was coming on late play.
Speaking of the under 20s and some experienced players in there, Kieran Harkin is quietly having his big comeback in that league. He captained the squad last week against Finn Harps. How crucial has the experience been for the lads within that team to have someone like him in the setup of the under 20s?
It's great to see him back. It's been a tough 2 years for Jackie, and to be fair, he's come on every day, kept working hard and kept focused, and the setback obviously of the re-injury was really, really tough for him. I'd imagine, that even the likes of Kieran Coles played, Sam Toss played, a lot of the lads have kind of Ben Doherty played last week. So for our young players, that's great. Even coming through myself as a really young player, playing with more experience, that's how you learn experienced players. You watch them, you see what they do in certain situations, you talk to them, you ask questions and stuff like that. So it's invaluable.
Planet Football did an article on the 16th of April on Trent Doherty. At 17, he's tipped for huge things at Liverpool, having left the club. Do you reckon we're close to seeing any other player from the academy getting ready to either move into the first team and make a massive impact or make a great impact in Britain or elsewhere?
Every individual player is different and their pathway is different and they develop at different stages. Trent, we always kind of knew Trent must go the road he went from a young age, you know what I mean? And to be fair, it's brilliant to see how well he is getting on and where he's at. And to be fair to him, it's no surprise to me because he was a kid who came on and worked hard and particularly really enjoyed his football and now he's getting a reward. So hopefully that continues for him. From our perspective, I wouldn't like to put pressure on any young lad by mentioning him. I think you've got to be patient. We're the ones we've got, and them themselves have got to be patient as well. Keep working hard, keep learning, and keep trying to be the best you can be, and we'll see where you're at,